Welcome to the Icarian Royal Navy Dock,
I
or
like it.
I'm sorry, I should say the Republic of Icaria, or the IRN Navy. The only ship that we have in at the moment is the IRN Rockfield City, or
Uh-huh.
City of Rockfield. I can't remember if which way we named it. Um, Technically, it's a short fin Barracuda diesel electric submarine. It is not nuclear.
Okay.
Um,
I'd be impressed
we
if we had that.
have we have three of the Barracuda in service. However, we've modified this version, and it has been dubbed the Kraken class. Go ahead and jump on board the tender here. So yeah, it's been dubbed the Kraken class. It is capable of launching ballistic and cruise missiles. We currently have it fitted with cruise missiles. And this one, the Rockfield City, is the only one that is able to operate with Special Operations Forces. The other two submarines are used for protection and patrolling, stuff like that.
So do we actually have those as physical objects in the air, or is that kind of...
No, so they're out at sea at the moment.
Gotcha.
Now, here's the cool thing about this. I'll give you the once around. Now, this vessel, people are going to think when they look at it that this is just a static object. It is not. It actually moves and can be driven the same way I'm driving this boat.
What's its
It
effect
can
on server frame rate?
none, like at all. It treats it as the same as an STV. So you see the giant gray thing on the back there?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a dry dock.
Nice.
That's how we get out and in the submarine when it's underwater. So what's going to happen here is you're going to jump out of the boat, just get out of the tender.
Eject away.
Yep. And what you'll see is if you look at the sail, which is the big con tower looking thing, you should get a direction to get in as directed by the crew.
I'm not looking at the right thing. Oh, wait a minute. Enter IRN Rockfield City as directed by the crew.
That's it. Click on that.
I'm in.
All right, now move towards the ladder that should be on your left.
Okay, I see it. Descend to
Okay.
mission planning deck.
Nope. Now you just had to make way for me. Basically, the way that this works is we are now inside the submarine. Okay. Hi. So
I like it.
what this door here allows you to do is board the submarine.
Mm-hmm.
It also allows you to exit, so you'll see that you have the ability to exit port or starboard side, which will take you back outside. But you can also mount a 50 cal machine gun from the nose. So when this is surfaced, to defend the ship, we have a 50 cal machine gun.
Nice.
And if you follow me down this way,
I don't think I've
I'll
ever
give you
heard
the
that.
we'll give you the full tour before we get underway because I'm gonna have to drive this out to deeper waters.
Excellent.
So this here is the dry dock. This is our what we call the lockout area. So the lockout is how we deploy forces from inside the submarine to outside the submarine, real time, through this door. Now, basically, the way that it would happen is the submarine would go to a certain depth. We'd get the order, you guys are freed for lockout, and one at a time, you walk up to the door here, and you'll get an option to exit the IRN Rockfield City. And when you hit that, it'll put you outside the ship in line with the gray DDS. Now, when we're outside, as I'll show you in a little bit, we can do a couple of actions. We can either swim on our way, or we can summon assault boats, which is what we did today. We came out of the back of this thing, and then we basically deployed some boats and took the boats into shore and executed the mission.
Nice.
So
So it's an insert,
It,
pretty much covert insert vehicle.
yeah, we can take this all the way towards the shore. It is also a fire support vehicle. As I said, the submarine is armed with Tomahawk cruise missiles.
Yes. Warner said they
So we
launch.
have the yes, we have the ability to launch them. Now you'll notice there's 3 lockers on the ground here. They are for any spare equipment that you might need to leave behind from your current loadout. And the 2 black locker looking things on the wall here are labeled equipment locker. These are virtual arsenals. So you can use them to get your dive gear and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we'll go on this way here. We walk back down the hatch.
I say I looked at. So did you pull this model from? Oh, you gotta. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little hinky.
Yep. Hang on. It's fighting me. There we go.
Yeah.
Did you get the
And
model
here's the
from the workshop?
medical bay. No, this is actually something that I found on Armaholic, and I adopted it. And it took me a couple of days to like take everything in and work it. But I found the core parts of how he got things done, and I inserted it into our mission.
Nice.
And so now we can put it anywhere we want. All right. So descend to mission planning deck. You just look at the ladder, and you'll see an option to descend.
It fights me. I can climb up ladder.
Nope. Just you might need to come back a little bit.
Hang on. It's still. Nope. Okay, you're not gonna.
Try
let
one
me
more
free,
time.
right? Yeah. Nope.
Keep going. Do it like twice in a row. I did it.
Mm,
Try your space bar. Or whatever your
Can't climb here.
no. Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Alright, try walking back down the hallway towards the medic
Wait.
bay and see if you get the
Oh, I got it.
oh there you oh
Whoa.
dear there we go, I teleported.
Yes. Yes, you did. How? Oh, okay.
That's the cool thing about this. If you happen to fall through in any way, shape, or form, it will teleport you back into the dry dock area.
Oh, nice.
Looking at the ladder, you should get the option to send a mission planning.
Yes, I do.
Click on that.
Which one? There's two.
Whichever one. They both do the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hi. So in here, if we ever start on board the submarine when it's at sail,
Mhm.
this is where we'll spawn in. This is a briefing room. The idea is we're going to try and transform these little screens into actual mission essential images like targets of interest, etc.
Can we all fit in this room?
Yep.
Oh,
We
nice.
had 10 of us in there today with plenty of room to spare.
Nice. Okay.
And this is where all the magic happens, okay? If you're ever asked to assist ISIT, that is the helm.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll be getting in there in a minute, and I'm not sure if you can jump in as well as the gunner, but I'll jump in and I'll get the ship underway. Now, the thing is, you don't have to do anything. This here does not move. It is technically like a TARDIS. So the actual physical model moves, but this is not inside the submarine. This is a construct that's sitting off the edge of the map. So the submarine moves and will dive and all that kind of stuff. And then when we go to exit the sub, it will teleport us to the appropriate position. So it's a bunch of script
Nice.
work, but it's kind of cool.
That's actually.
But if you're
very
ever
fun to
asked
work
by
around.
ISIT, if you're ever asked by ISIT to launch a missile, this is the missile control panel. You must be at missile launch depth for it to work. You cannot be deeper and you cannot be higher than missile launch depth.
What's that
Right.
depth?
Roughly 16 meters.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you look at the map, which you probably don't have because you're still a survivor,
This is correct.
but if you make your way back up to the dry dock and get a map, you'll actually be able to track the progress of the vessel as we maneuver. So if you want to go gear up in a wetsuit, rebreather, diving goggles, and all that,
Alrighty.
when we're in position, I'll meet you back up in the dry dock and we'll go over stuff.
Alrighty. Now, I have a question.
Yep.
Third person view in the submarine. Does that work?
It does. It does, but it does show you some of the little tricks that are there to, amuse and entertain, and kind of shows you a little bit of the dark magic that we use to make it work.
Bypass it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well. Alright, so I need to load. Where is it? I put it here somewhere. Oh, darn. And I don't have the diving gear because it was for a previous mod set.
That's fine. It's a full arsenal. You've got plenty of time, trust me.
Cool.
Gotta wait till we get at least 50, 60 minutes below us to think about diving this thing. So,
What was the diving suit called again?
wetsuit NATO.
There it is. Alright, the rebreather is called what again?
Literally called rebreather.
Why can I never find it?
That is an interesting question for which man is not meant to know.
This is true. Wait, it's under the vest? Yep, no wonder why I couldn't find it.
Rebreathers, yeah.
I was looking under the helmets.
Yeah,
That would
not
explain it.
quite.
Backpack?
No, won't be needed.
Alrighty.
So here we are. Now we're down at periscope depth right now. The place where we are is not super deep, but that's fine. It shows you what we can do and what we can't do while we're out there.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little, quick, brief little tour. Ugh, because then I am seriously gonna go consider having a nap.
Yeah, you and me both. Alright. Am I missing anything?
No, you're looking pretty good.
Diving goggles NATO.
All right.
Alright. I think I got everything.
All right, groovy. Well, step on up. Make sure you're right up against the door, and you'll get an option saying exit.
Yep, I have it.
Go ahead and click that, and then swim away from the exit for me.
Alright, I have swam away. Good.
All right, here we go. Welcome to underwater. Now, the submarine, as I said, moves. So if you go up to the surface here, and you look behind you,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see just how far we've moved.
Oh, nice.
Now, if you look down through the water here from the surface,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see that the submarine's actually visible. It is detectable by aircraft because of that. It also has, obviously, the periscope and stuff up here that you can see sticking up from over the water because it's at periscope depth. So, as we go down here, we'll go down. Now, there's a couple of options that we'll have when you come close to the dry dock shelter.
Okay.
The first is to deploy. So if you use your scroll wheel, you'll see deploy boat and deploy and float test a deck ape. You don't want to hit the deck ape button. That adds AI divers who do nothing.
Ah, okay. For a
Um,
second, I thought it was Warner's D&D character.
so I've just hit assault boat. So I don't know if you got the message that it was scrambling an assault boat.
I did not.
Okay. So every action that we do here when in terms of deploying another method of transportation um, does that by taking 1 minute. It's to simulate, you're pulling it out of the dry dock and getting any kind of mission essential equipment strapped to it, and then you're floating it.
Hmm. Okay.
So what'll happen here is in a minute, a boat will appear on the surface. Just one of our little black assault craft. And we're able to then board the assault craft, move off towards the front of the boat, and we can fill the boats as needed. So if we have 12 commandos, that's 3 boats of 4, and then, they can go off and land on a beach somewhere. Or, like now, where we're kind of relatively close to shore. Oh, there it is.
I
Here's
see
the
it.
assault boat. So we can swim up here. Now, because we are relatively close to shore, if the submarine managed to pull in here, we could actually go from the dry dock and swim all the way to shore, plant charges on the boats and stuff that are under there or there, plant some bombs, and then swim all the way back. And
Right.
that would take about an hour, which is how much air we've got on board. Now, if you look at the boat here, and I don't know if you'll get the options or if it's only me because of the fact that I spawned it, but there's an option to refuel the boat,
Yep, I see that.
but there's also an option to load the boat. So if we needed to fully recover entire setup of our raid, we can recover every boat that we launched from the sub. So in that way, we can actually, on a campaign, start inside the sub and just be doing missions from the submarine.
Nice.
Um, and because it's a persistent object using alive, it'll save us where we are, and then we can go out, and do what we need to from there.
So we got
So
live to now kind of work completely.
yeah, it hasn't worked since like the 64-bit version came out, and it was something to do with the modules as well as a few other problems at the server. Like I'm sure you probably would have noticed that your performance seems a lot more stable in terms of frames.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that was something to do with Task Force 47 launchers and FFA. So, and there goes the assault boat. So now if we go under. Oh, and this is a completely, fully functional model. So it's swim all the way underneath it,
Nice. Now, does
and
this
up
have
the other
any
side.
don't touch points because of physics glitches and, pain?
Yeah, try not to touch the submarine as a whole.
Okay.
Um, it's not so much, but in rough seas, we've noticed that it kind of bobs up and down unless you're a lot deeper down.
Mm. And it could,
Um,
yeah. I know Arma physics is kind of a
yeah,
little
it kind
funky.
of.
A tap can register as like a giant, massive car falling on you.
Yes, indeed.
Man, that is cool. I have to admit.
Now, about to get a little cooler. Ta-da!
Yes.
Now I'm gonna jump in the driver's seat. Oh,
Let me hop in the
took a
passenger.
decompression stuff. No, no. Check on the action menu. You see strap on left, strap on right.
Yes.
Pick one.
I'm kind of bouncing in air.
Yeah, it's because we're not quite submerged.
Hang on, hold it. Submerge more and stop. I'm kind of like free floating and doing the I'm not quite attached thing.
Yeah, that's actually the animation. It's kind of a
Oh,
bug.
okay. Well,
We're working on it.
I know what it's going for.
Yeah, the idea is that
You'll hold on to the side.
theoretically you're holding on to the side and we've strapped you on, and that's kind of so rather than being able to only transport 4 divers per STV, you can now do a whole 8-man team. Right?
Nice, with
If you
everyone
jump
joining
off,
in.
yeah.
One moment. Unstrap.
So
Okay.
get out here.
I'm unstrapped.
All right. So you should see a scroll wheel option. Some weird reason it's still
Got
drifting
another
along.
one, motherfucker.
Really?
Yes.
Pilot or no pilot?
Commando.
Okay. A British guy or
American.
American? What did he want from a unit?
Um, I'll give you the list that he had.
Oh, this was the guy that was being a little finicky.
He was the big one. He has like a big old wall of like a fucking book, and we talked to him, and he's like, "It's what I wanted." So
You should see there's a load SDV option.
Yes.
Go ahead and hit that. And it'll say 1 minute because everything takes a minute. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually track whether it takes a full minute by your
hang
breath
on.
time. So you'll notice at the depth that we are right now, have an hour worth of playtime. If we go deeper, until I can figure out the right gas mix, if we went deeper, it would be thing. I'm wondering if more oxygen and less trimix, it would make the depth smaller, so we couldn't go as deep. But I wonder if it would give us more breath time.
What is the? You said IMAX? IMAX?
We're on what's called trimix, which is what
He
commercial divers use to go deep.
Yeah. What's up, Warner?
he said he is probably gonna end up joining. He does just want to go
Okay.
around and see what
Okay.
all the other people said.
I wasn't
There you
sure
go. It's
because
all
I didn't
packed up.
ask
Yeah.
him, and I apologize.
Yeah,
I,
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's why I took
So-
over from that. But he said he's probably gonna be back in a little bit.
Okay.
So
Let's talk how to get in. So say you've come back in. Say we swam to shore, placed some mines underneath some boats, and blew up some boats, and you're wanting to come back in and get dry and whatnot. You come swimming down here, and we found the best way to do it is to sit right here, kind of right in the center of the DDS,
Okay.
and you'll get an enter IRN Rockfield City through DDS. You go ahead and you give that a try.
Enter. All right. Do I click it?
Yep.
I'm in.
Enter, and boom. Welcome back to the submarine.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. I have to admit, that's cool.
So we did a mission today where we took the commandos and CRC out through the dry dock. I was the only one in dive gear because I was mustering the boats under the water. They all just swam straight for the surface. So at the depth we are now, at periscope depth, it is close enough to the shore, to the surface, I should say, sorry, for you to be able to swim up without needing a rebreather. Basically, like as you're going through the lockout, you hold your breath and then
Right.
you breathe out as you go up. But when we come back on home rotation, we'll be doing the same sort of exercise that I just went through with you. So we'll be doing swims where, a commando team will be told, hey, go swim here, go plant this, and then come back kind of deal. And then others will get boats and go over here. And then others, the CRC guys are probably the ones that are going to be using the SDV just because they're smaller and,
Doing their own
gives them a
thing.
chance to.
Fucking go
Yeah.
away.
But it's cool.
I like.
But yeah, have you got any questions or anything like that?
See a missile launch?
Yeah, okay. Go out through the dock
Okay.
and just get like far enough away in one direction, like maybe 100 meters or so, and then look back towards the periscope, and you'll see a missile launch. Launching in
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Nice. Where'd it go? I lost it.
And it's going to the airfield. You can actually, as I said, track where the missile is in real time, which it's detonated. And 2, you have the sounds inside. So when I sorry, yawn. When we are sitting there and the whatchamacallit, when you are outside and
I hear a marshal.
you launch it, it launches off and does the whole whoosh. When you do the same thing in terms of being inside, you hear it as if you were on the inside.
Nice. So the reverberating echo through the metal.
Yeah, it's like whoosh.
Excellent. That's nice.
Oh.
Alright, so you guys have built yourself a mobile base that goes underwater.
Yes. Basically.
Yes,
I like
basically.
That we can launch the entirety of the commandos from, and tomahawks.
Yes.
90. 90
Yeah,
tomahawks.
90 tomahawks.
Also, those tomahawks, if you have the laser designator, make
Which I
you
do.
feel like a brain surgeon with a scalpel. I swear to God, there was a fucking, you know the base game Arma 3 gazebo? That's just, you know, a little fucking gazebo, maybe 10 by 10 meters, and how Arma separates it into 3 different pieces.
Yep.
Minnie, I fucking laser designated the middle piece of that gazebo when a tomahawk came in. It only destroyed the middle piece and left the other. Like, it fucking cut a gazebo in half. That thing
Nice.
you could shoot if there were 2. If you cut a building in half and